Evening all and welcome along Friday Night Live with RB and the crew. Little bit of a late one tonight. We've had a very early morning start, 6 o'clock this morning, and I didn't get out of the garage till 7 o'clock tonight, hence why the live stream is a little bit late. And I've still got my work shirt on as well, so not even washed, and I've still got grubby hands. Quick wash, quick chat, and we'll get up onto this live stream. Now, we've got a lot going on tonight. I believe Andy, who is in the side chat, is out in Austria at the moment. So, or he's due to go out to Austria. I can't remember. I think he's actually on the boat and over in Austria at the moment. So, evening to him, evening to Grey Wolf, evening to Blake's Pipes, aka Loy, evening Loy. Slow Bones is here as well. So, good to see everybody on the stream tonight. Welcome along. If you do want to jump in on the camera tonight, and I know someone is due to come on in about 30 minutes time, the side link is up there. Go and click the oh, he's going Tuesday. There we go. So Andy's going Tuesday. That means he can come and join me on the stream. Come and tell us about where you're going, Andy. You can tell us all about that. And obviously, I have got one of my customers, Daniel, who may be jumping on the stream tonight. We've just finished off the WK Scrambler. That went over to him about 6 o'clock tonight, and he's just received it. Sent me a load of photos. Very happy with the bike. And if you haven't seen Facebook, WK Bikes on Facebook, they have picked up that I've been doing the Scrambler video. They sent us the Colt 50 today. It's 50cc, 4-speed, geared 50cc bike. I have had an absolute blast on that bike. I love it. It's literally a little Benelli TNT come Honda Grom with the 50cc motor on it. It only does 30, but the fun you can have poddling around at 30 mile an hour, I have had an absolute blast on that bike, and the video should be up in the next day or so. Also, Lloyd's the old. Now I know who it is. Love, are you? Oh, all right. Oh, Andy's off to bed at 4 a.m. Or up at 4 a.m. Only on for a bit. Understand that, Andy. Get yourself some sleep, mate. I am back up in the garage. I've got to be up at 5 tomorrow morning into the garage for 6 a.m. Bit of a nightmare of a week we have had at the garage. But the good news, Andy, the WKSXs have been ordered today. I've got 2 blues coming, which means we've got 1 for sale, 1 is reserved for you. So as soon as they're here, mate, I will give you a bell, and then you can obviously send me a message and we can sort something out. But I've got a blue SX that's been ordered for you. Now, coming from WK, we have loads and loads of bikes coming. I've got another Scrambler coming, and I have now, we have now officially become a UM dealer as well. So not only do we do the WKs, we've also got the old UM. So I've got the new UM is called the Freedom, and the old one, the Vegas, which I really love. It looked like the old Night Rod. We've got one of those coming, and we've also got another 50cc Colt coming in white. So these little 50cc Colts are really selling like a hotcake. So absolutely good. And probably coming up tomorrow, we have just done a full carb rebuild on an SRAD. It's an old T-Reg SRAD, came in, and the fun that I had with that, it was not running, so we cleaned all the carbs out, put all the pipes back on it, and what I thought was all the vacuum lines were connected all over the place. Looked in the obviously the side window, checked the oil, loads of oil in there, and I fired the bike up. The only thing that he didn't tell me was that whoever had connected the bike up had connected the fuel line to the airbox line. So as soon as they put the tank on, straight into the airbox, and it had dropped down the vent pipe from the sump up to the airbox. So it had filled the sump up with 6 litres of petrol. Now, them bikes only hold 2.5 litres in the sump. So it almost hydrolocked itself. But when I fired it up, whoosh, 6 litres of petrol went airborne like a little geezer and ended up spraying me. So we had to do a full tank and sump drain on that, flushed it out, oil in, start it up, drop the oil out, get the petrol out, and another refill of oil. So we finally got that done, and I took it out today. It was literally minus its panel, so it was literally alley frame at the back with a stoplight, no indicators on it, took it out and run it round town. But that video is coming up shortly. Matt is in the room. Evening is MT Belly is in the room. Matt, if you want to come and jump on the StreamYard link with me, keep me company for about half an hour. Now, we have a special guest on tonight. He came in on the live, he did his own little live last night, and he was 1 hour's drive from Land's End. And everyone was chatting along with Peaky Biker in the room. If you haven't seen Peaky Biker's little post from last night, go and see what he does about half an hour into the video. Bathroom break while on camera, but we didn't see anything, so don't worry about that. But it was hilarious. Didn't wash his hands, didn't flush, but that's Peaky for you. He is coming on the live stream tonight. So he messaged me about 30 minutes ago and said to me, I'm midway on the ride. I have just literally booked my room, but if you're in about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, I will be on the stream with you. So we will catch up with Peaky and then find out where he is, how far he's got. He's got, I believe, the Bristol run and then round Wales and up the west coast. But as we said to him last night, every day is a day closer to home. So every mile now he's eating up. He is on the homeward run. He's cranked up around about 3,000 miles so far in the last 6 days. Matt's eating at the moment. No worries, Matt. When you're done, mate, pop into the stream. Come and say hello. As usual, the obligatory glass of plonk. I've literally just got my tumbler and stuck some Pinot Grigio in there tonight. So I will be having a little bit of that. And other things that I've got loads and loads of questions that I am going to I'm going to be asking all you guys in the side chat. So if you've got an answer to the question, stick it up here. Everybody can see it. Let me just log into my emails, click the email link, and we shall see where we are. Right, here we go. First question. I've got 6 tonight, so 6 questions. If you've got a better answer than me, put it up in the side chat, and I will we can comment about it. And it's good to discuss bikes when we're on the Friday night live stream. It tends to go a bit sideways. We do our own thing. But the first question, you're always stating, and I love this question, you're always stating that you use E5 petrol in all 125 and 50cc bikes. I've been running my Lexmoto Michigan. This is a back question. I've been running my Lexmoto Michigan on E10 fuel for the last year and a half, and I've never had an issue. Why should I switch to E5 now, or shall I just keep on using E10? Is the bike safe to do this? If it runs, they are E10 bikes, but we would always say play on the side of caution. E10 contains a lot more ethanol than it would on E5. So basically, E5 means 5% ethanol, E10 means 10% ethanol. You've got more ethanol. If you're leaving your bike stood for longer or cold or hot weathers, it will absorb moisture. Ethanol absorbs moisture through the atmosphere. He's just said, there we go. Running my one on E10, not had a problem myself. A lot of people use E10. You tend to find some of the bikes do not like E10, and 9 times out of 10, if your bike's playing up, it's missing, spluttering, switch it up, put a tank of E5 in it and see what it does. A lot of people, what they will do now is do 3 tanks of E10 and put a tank of E5 in it. Rich from GT Travel. Oh God, do you remember the old 5-star? It used to be 2, 3 and 4-star. And then if you wanted the premium, you would go and buy that super 5-star petrol that used to cost you 80 pence a gallon. It don't anymore. It's about £1.36 a litre. Blake's love you. Blake's pipes. Would fuel stabilizer help if storing in a barn? Yes, it would. We spoke to now we have a rep comes in from Forte Fuels or Forte Oil Treatments. And I was actually chatting to him about this because we were asking about flushing bikes out. Now, obviously, if we're doing servicing on cars, we have what's called an engine flush. It's a 100 ml bottle. You just take the top off, crack it in the top of the engine, run the engine up, get the oil warm, and then drop the oil. Now, it's actually a cleaner, and it's designed to do that. But I said to him, We don't tend to use that. We use a thing called molly shooters, which is oil cleaner. So you crack the cap off the little tin of molly, drop it in the sump, fire the bike up 5 minutes, let the bike cool down, drop the oil out. The molly shooters, and he said, no, actually, the 41 is exactly the same product, but it's £8 cheaper than molly shooters, and you get a bigger bottle. So he said you could literally use 50 ml of that, or the same size as what you use in your molly shooter, drop it in. And I did comment about using E10 fuel. I said we get loads of bikes in with E10 problems. He said if you use the fuel booster, they do what's called an octane booster. And then the other one is an injector cleaner. He said, what you need to do, get yourself, go down the local chemist, get yourself a 50 ml syringe. Syringe off 50 ml, one in the fuel, syringe off another one in the fuel. He said, your octane booster will boost your E10 to E5, and you will do that. So um, that would help if you put a fuel stabilizer or you use like a fuel booster just to bring your fuel up. There we go. May try E5 next time. I see the thing with E10, you will tend to find with E5 it's about 5 or 6p more per litre, but you will get more miles to the gallon. Um, Here we are. Rich says, I use E5 once a month, E10 for the rest. I only tend to fill up on my GTR on E5. I like the premium fuel. Andy's just said, I do one tank E10, one tank E5. Exactly. And Blake's just said, we have, when you have E10 here in the state, everybody is going to E10. The only thing that you will find is obviously anything pre 2000, I think it's pre 2004, will not run on E10. So if you've got an older car or an older bike, stick to the E5 because you'll find that E10 will start rotting stuff out of your pipes, carb issues, and E10 does not like fuel seals. So if you've got an older bike, use the E5. If you've got a newer bike, E10 is fine. Now, that's question one. Question two. Um, I'm looking to do some green laning on my 125 bike. Okay, yeah, green laning on a 125. You're better off probably getting yourself a GS, but if you're on a 125, I've looked at certain types of tyres across the market. Should I go knobbly? Should I go dual purpose? Or should I go full terrain with the ridges that run in line with the rear tyre? It all depends what you're going to do with the bike. Um, so you can use semi-nobblies, you can use a dual sport. But his other question was, and he's tagged in another question on it, do I really need to go full rubber or will a Chinese nylon tire do exactly the same? Um, Chinese tires, and I'm going back to sort of 70s and 80s when I was riding bikes as a youngster. Um, Everything back then, all the bike tires were all made of nylon. The only reason that these compounds came around, the 2CTs, and your all weathers or your all different bikes, was the simple reason that a lot of people did track days and they wanted something that was a bit more grippy. They weren't sliding the bike around the track, hence why they made the two compound tread 2CTs. Couple of quick questions. He said, Andy just said, I think the BMW will run on diesel. Blake's just said get another bike. Yeah, if you're on the 125, tractor tires best choice. I think that's what he's on about, where the ridges go across the tread rather than tires from Wish. Great knowing you all. Exactly. Yeah. If you are doing a little bit of green laning, there are some very good tyres out there, and they're called Kenda, Kenda. Now you can get Kenda tyres. They are a nylon tyre, but they'll work on a 125, and it's what they tend to fit on most of sort of the dual sports, like the Assaults, Lex Motor Assault, or the Mutts. A lot of those have dual sport tyres, but if it depends if you're riding a lot of road or if you're riding sort of just country lanes or if you're riding full mud, and I'm talking green lanes. How we should said Meccano tyres are 125 bikes. It all depends. Shop around, and what I say is, if you are going to get some decent tyres, go for something like sort of the dual sport Michelin's, the Goodyears. Andy's just said to me there we are, just as I said it, don't skimp on tyres or brakes. Yeah, simple. Um, get what you can for your money if you happen to be doing a bit of green laning. But the only thing that you will find if you go full knobbly tires, you are going to have a hell of a time riding it on the road. It won't ride as nice as if you've got a dual sport tire. Andy is probably the one over here to chat about tires, but for tires, don't skimp on tires. Don't go for the cheapest. When someone says to you, "Oh, the Pirelli Angels are 280 quid," or we can do the Maxxis tire, which is the equivalent of that, and it's 100 quid. I would spend the money and get decent rubber. You've got 2 points of contact, and that is your tires on the road. And when you consider that your actual patch of tire that is meeting the road sometimes is no bigger than a postage stamp, especially if you're cornering that bike, you've got no bigger than a postage stamp holding you to the road. You want the best that you can get for your money. There we go. Andy's just said, buy a horse. Use that, keep your bike on the road. Oh, nice one. Talking of people coming in, I've got my mate Matt here. Here he is.
Oh,
Good old
hello.
hello, Matt. Your bike is almost ready, mate, for Thursday.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll ring you and speak to you about that because we need to hire a van and that lot. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of getting ready. Um,
That's all right.
yeah, because I need to hire a van, and my daughter's currently down in Telford, so
Yeah, well, whenever
when she
you're
gets back
ready,
up here,
mate. All I've got to
yeah,
do, I shall be giving you a call next week to obviously go through all the registration on your new bike. Just check all the details, check I've
she
spelt
tells,
Kira's
yeah.
name right. But I'll give you a call sort of Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But she rides lovely. I've got a second ride video on my helmet now, and
Oh, brilliant.
um, it's slightly boring. The typical dual carriageway run, sitting at 45
Yeah,
mile.
she'll
But
appreciate that anyway because
that's all
it's
right.
mainly
It's
for
good.
Kira because uh, you just timed it right on Wednesday because she turned 18 on Thursday.
Oh, lovely.
Was it Thursday? Wednesday, sorry. Yeah, you
Wednesday, yeah.
timed it right Tuesday. Yeah, it's all right. I'm missing the day. You timed it right on Tuesday because obviously you released it at night time, and when she woke up in the morning, I'd already shared the link to her, so she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
very happy in the morning.
But there's
Apart
one
from
more
that,
test ride to do. I've got another set of bolt checks and obviously just the
yeah,
registration and then final clean load of ACF 50 all over it. But um,
yeah,
I had let me just now I've got to do this because obviously I tend to WhatsApp most of my because obviously the customer gives us his phone number when they pay for the bike, and I
yeah,
did it. Obviously, I'd got you on my messenger, Matt, so that was all good.
mm,
But the last guy that he's probably sitting on the live stream at the moment. Now this video.
ooh, yeah, I like that thing. That's a WKD scrambler,
Yeah,
isn't it? Or WK scrambler, sorry, not
yeah, WK
WKD.
Scrambler.
Yeah.
Now that video is 5.5 minutes long.
Mm,
So that's how long it takes me. And he's just basically replied, thank you very much for all you've done. Great walk around. I said, any issues, you know our number. Always happy to help. Enjoy the bike. It arrived about an hour ago. So he's just literally sent me all the photos of him signing the paperwork.
yeah.
I said, glad you like it. Enjoy. Certainly will do. But um, as he said, everyone says, oh, God, your customer service is absolutely.
Oh, it is. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah. You either get good customer service or you lose bike sales. They're going to move on to the next dealer.
Yeah.
So it's
But
all
no,
about, that being that good. I'll be only wishing the mechanics were all like you, test rides. I always say, and if you happen to go onto my RevBomb page, I'm going to just share this a second, Matt. Let me just find my RevBomb page.
yeah, it's no problem.
Um, right, let's bring it. I've just got to find it. Because I've got on there. Yeah. Right, let me just go back onto my stream. I'm just going to share this because people say you tend to be very, very fussy about what you do. And I went, I'm not fussy. I just like things absolutely spot on. Right, let me just share that up. So obviously, My life, bike rider and motor vlogger, sales manager for Eclipse Autos Group, and I've got to change that actually because it's now bloody. I'm not the sales manager anymore. Rebecca's taken over. I'm now the senior bike tech. I'm just another bike vlogger, vlogging his life. I have a great love for all makes of bikes, especially Kawasaki, whether they're sports cruisers, supermoto. Big two loves of music and bikes, but I must remember the wife that puts up with all the crap that I do. Very proud of who. The one thing that I always say to people. Never accept second best is not good enough. Second best
No,
is never good enough. It has to be spot on every time. You either give 100% into your job or find something else. And if
yeah,
you're not
that's what
happy, if you've not got the passion, then move on.
I wish I got my Michigan from you, but it was at the time I didn't know you that well, and I was only just started
Mm,
watching your videos about the bike. There was a lot going off during that period.
mm.
Um, but I said to Kira when she fell in love with that LSX, get the right one.
Alexis, yeah.
Um, she fell in love with that. We went to, like I say, went to NEC. She sat on it on the at the NAC to see whether it was suitable for her. She fell in love with the grey and yellow one because of the factor of the logos.
Mm,
Because on the others, they go way over top with the
yeah.
branding.
Mm,
It's like they're plastered all over them, and she liked the branding, the way the branding was done on it as well. She sat on it, she entered the competition, won that 250 quid voucher off from Lex Moto, and she'd been saving like mad, and then she got it. So it's like brilliant news.
mm.
I can't wait, I can't, because it's like I've
I,
got a ride
I
for
bet.
you now.
I bet you'll be on it before she is.
Well, she's already said, she says, I'll let you have a go on it, Dad. I was like, yeah, I'll have a go on it, but I'll probably not like it because I'm not into, you know me, I like my cruisers, I don't like my sports
Yeah,
bike.
yeah, yeah. I
And
was
it-
I've been sports bike for 40 years and I always said I would live and die on a sports bike. But
mm,
since obviously that crash where I got shunted from behind, um,
mm,
I've had to sit more upright. And obviously when we had the ZZR in, I sat on the ZZR and I'm like, I really like this bike. I've always been a Kawasaki freak through the
yeah,
years. But then we had when that GTR came on the yard and I took it out, and then I'm like, I want to take it out next weekend. And I said to Phil, I want this bike. And he went, why? I said, it's comfortable. You can go for miles and miles and miles on it. All right, it only does super sausage and back
mm,
on a Sunday because I just don't get the time to get out. And I was going to go out and try and meet Peaky this week, but I've just
yeah,
not physically had the time to get out of the office or book a day off. I'm 6 days a week, 12 hours a day at the moment. I think Phil is still at the garage at the moment. He was in at 7 and he's there till 10 o'clock tonight, and it's the same tomorrow night.
yeah.
We could, if anybody knows a decent mechanic, come and help me. Come and help me. I could do with another second mechanic.
Well,
Um,
I do like the GTR because of the seating position, because it's
yeah,
more. I like my sit up and beg bikes as I call them. I like the upright rather than being crouched over. I'd need a JCB crane or something to lift me up with one of them. But you laugh, seeing her in the background. Yeah, I'd
Eh,
sort of park up somewhere and end up falling off its sideways, just to get off
eh.
the chucking thing.
The thing is,
Oh,
I've sat on Andy's bike down at Super Sausage so many times, and when I sat on it at the motorcycle show live,
mm,
and we tried the Africa Twin, but the sales rep for Honda was awful, and I went, "Oh, how much is this bike?" Well, it's 18 grand. Right? Do I get panniers top box with it? No. That's another 2 grand extra. And I went, all right, do you do test rides? We don't do test rides. You buy the bike, and if you don't like it, and it was just the attitude from Honda. And then as soon as I stepped onto the BMW stand, the girl was there, and she was like, you could tell she was like sales orientated because the way she
yeah,
was feeling. Sit on the bike, try it for size. And I went, it's a little bit high. Oh, look, but the suspension is active. You can lower it. Oh, I like this. Oh,
yeah.
well,
Because
and she
we
was
went
like,
to the Honda.
go
Sorry,
on.
we went to the Honda stand. I had a look around there because I was looking at the Gold Wing as I always do.
Mm,
Um, and there was loads of people sort of like mulling around the Gold Wing, and I thought, no, the sales reps. There was hardly any sales reps with them chatting to them about it. So I thought, I'll go and have a look because I've been looking at the three wheelers as I call them,
yeah,
like the
yeah.
Piaggio and that lot. So I went over to Yamaha to have a look at their Tri City or Tricity or whatever they want to
Tricity,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
And sales rep came over and I went, "Can I have a sit on it?" He went, "Yeah, mate. If you want a test ride, let me know." What bloody hell, you know? So I had a sort of good nose
Mm,
around that and had a sit on it and that. And but there was no shame there was no Piaggio dealers there because I wanted to have a look at them, but
mm,
they weren't there, which brushed me off a little bit, which has put me off of them a little bit because the dealer network for them doesn't seem to be there like it
mm,
is with like the Yamaha. Because up near us we've got oh, what do you call it? In Clay Cross, it's CMG or something like that, or
yeah,
CMC or something. But
yeah.
they're a Yamaha dealer, you know, and that, and they're local to me, yeah. And Piaggio, I keep looking for a local one within the Nottingham area. By the way, Nottingham flag. Um, and there don't seem to be many, you know. And
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
yeah, I like the Piaggio, but the dealer network's not there for me,
Mm.
you know. Whereas the Yamaha, it's just up the road. It's not that far away.
That's not, yeah,
Um,
exactly. That's why
it,
obviously when I sat on that BM, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. And she said to me, well, this
mm,
is what it will cost you per month. You could put this much deposit, you pay for it over these many years. You get a 3-year warranty on the bike. And I'm like, oh, you can extend it to 5 if you want. You've got the SOS button. And
yeah,
then when I sat on Andy's, I'm like, hmm. But when I was at the show, the girl said to me, "Do you want to test ride one?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "Who's your local dealer?" I went, "Wollaston BMW in Northampton." She went, I said, "But I know all the boys there." But then he obviously phoned me in the office at Eclipse. He said, "Have you booked a test ride?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, we'll line you up for the beginning of April." And I went, "All right." That never came round because I'm just literally so busy at the weekend.
yeah,
And then the bike went out on loan. But he has said to me at the end of this month, he said, if you can sort of get yourself, I said, well, I can line up for the end of May, beginning of June. And he went, oh, all right, then we'll sort that out. But obviously now we're into the end of May. And he's like, are you coming over to get it this week? I haven't got time. I really
oh,
physically haven't got time to come over and pick the bike up. He went, well, it's here sitting in the showroom. Whenever you're ready, pop over on a Friday evening, grab the bike, and you can have it until Monday morning. And I've, oh, great! I should have had it this bank holiday. It's
yeah,
going to be it's going to be another 2 weeks before I even get round to get the way the work is at the garage. I just don't physically have the time. It's going to be sat there on a Saturday while I'm working. Sunday it's probably going to do super sausage, and Monday I'm taking it back. So, oh great! I take a BMW to super sausage. That's going to be it. I need to book a weekend off really.
off, yeah. So you can give it a good drive. But
So I can
like
get
I say,
out.
I mean,
Yeah, and obviously Andy's off to Austria soon, so it's pointless riding with Andy. Or I could have had a ride with Darren Spears, but you know,
yeah,
both the boys are out at the moment. So I should
yeah,
probably give them a message next week and say, look, let's line it up for the end of June, beginning of July. It would be good to actually have it for the weekend that I do the Milton Keynes Bike Show because that's July the 9th. So if
yeah.
I
But,
can have it for the weekend and then stick it behind my motovlogger stand, and then people will turn up. Oh, where's RB? Oh, he's got the BMW now.
yeah, confusing. But
Yeah.
no, like I say, I'm still, I don't know, I'm umming and ahhing between, well, because of my medical conditions as well. I'm in an ahhing between either getting one of those Yamaha electricity things, you know, because I can ride it on my car license, or I
Mm,
might do my full bike test and then have a look at something then. But I'm still like that. But I want to see how I get on with Kira and everything, you know,
mm,
at
yeah.
the moment. So we're both going to be out and about. But yeah, I was on the live stream with Peaky earlier. I hope he comes on because I
He
know, was
should
struggling
he should
yesterday.
be he should be here shortly because I did. Let me just check my WhatsApp because I've got it on my
Yeah, I
computer.
was, I,
Um,
I was chatting with him earlier on today, you
yeah.
know, on this live earlier.
I've got about 30 minutes left, so I can get in the hotel and get myself sorted out then. So, evening,
Yeah.
Charles.
Well, yeah, are you,
Charles,
Charles? Sorry, I'm not ignoring
yeah.
you.
So
Well,
yeah, Peaky is on his way in, and I'm obviously waiting for the update to find out where he is at the moment. Because as we said to him,
well,
every mile now is a mile nearer to home.
yeah, I know we said earlier it was It's not far off Ilfracombe in Devon.
Oh, hmm.
So, because he's been to, was it Land's End and got his
Land's End, yeah.
photos there. And I know he's sort of not far away from Ilfracombe. So,
Hmm.
that was earlier on today. So it could be there by now, or it might not be. But, but I know he was struggling the other day when he came on the live. But
Yeah,
he's
he's
doing bloody
obviously.
brilliant.
He's doing,
He
as I
really
said to
is.
you, all the boys here are really proud of his achievement. He's
Yeah,
absolutely blasting the hell out of it.
yeah,
He's probably got an arse like a Japanese flag at the moment. With
yeah.
but
But
when you consider every penny of that ride,
oh yeah, I
is
donated earlier today for it
yeah,
to him as well.
um,
So
I'm waiting till he finishes because I have got a nice little surprise for him when he finishes. As I
oh
said
good,
to him, I've been racking up the YouTube money. It's sitting in the side. As soon as he finishes that, he's got a nice
yeah,
little surprise. But I'm holding back on it because I want to blow his mind.
yeah. Well, no,
Um,
I sort of donated today because I got
yeah,
my payment in today, so I donated to him today and that, and
but
thanks to
you
Black
know,
Music for the takeout.
given has anybody notified the Guinness World Record people that he's the first guy to do it in the UK?
Yeah, I don't think now.
Yeah.
Cheers,
And
Andy. I just
cheers,
bye.
Andy. Thanks for coming in, mate. Look after
Yeah,
yourself. Have a good weekend, mate. And night all is off. So Andy's disappearing off.
yes, like Charles says, he was tired the other night. He was. I
He,
think he
he,
could have done it where he could have sort of probably allowed him like a day or so break. You get what I
yeah.
mean? Go so far and then have a couple of days break and then carry on the what, or rather than trying to knock it all out in one go, which is what I think is doing his
He's
nutting a bit.
he's typical army boy. He's like put your head
Yeah,
down, crack on.
carry
It's
on.
just which is exactly
Yeah,
what I would have done. Just get your head down, get it under the belt, bash it out, and then once you get back, then you've got your time.
sort of collapse. Yeah,
Yeah, your
well,
chance to just burn yourself out. But um, as I said, we've got. Oh, here we go. He's literally that is Peaky messaging me. Checking in, give me 20. Oh, here we go.
yeah,
It's typical Peaky checking in. Give me 20 minutes. I've got to get the shit in my room, have a shower, and get a beer.
yeah. I don't blame him to be honest. I do not blame him. He's doing absolutely bloody fantastic. Because I'm
he,
surprised he's not contacted like his local news or something like that.
mm,
You know, I'm surprised he's not sort of contacted like whatever it is. It might be Central, yeah, Central News
mm.
or BBC West Midlands or something.
Yeah. Well,
Just
now
to
he's
sort of
now
help
if he's going
post
around
him.
Wales and it's like, here's the news from Wales with the sea.
Yeah. Wonder if he's got green or black wellies with. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Blake's just said, keep going
Oh
with the
yes. Keep
questions.
going with the
Oh yeah.
questions. Sorry, Blake.
Peaky's just said you still on. Sure are. Waiting for you. Right, here we go. Right, back to the questions. So we've done three of them so far. Go away, Peaky. Uh, question. Oh my God. Oh, I love this. Right, winter and summer riding. I own a 600. I bought myself a 600 phaser. I have just passed my mod one. What's he just said that? Hang on. Peaky's just being a. Sure, are we waiting for you? Sorry, lol. Okay. Right, I've just bought myself a. Oh, I've got to go back to the bloody question. I've just shut my emails. I've just bought a Phaser 600. I've just recently passed my Mod 1 and Mod 2 being 28 years old, which means I can ride a full motorcycle. Yes, you can. Mod 1, Mod 2. Do I buy the best I can get in gear, or should I scrimp and save and look around eBay and spend more on the bike? Hmm. I would
Mm,
say if you've bought the bike and the bike runs fine, then spend the money on the equipment. The
yeah.
things that you decent helmet every bloody times. People come to me and that we say to them, how much is a crash helmet? It's 89 quid. Oh, it's a bit too much. Have you got anything for about 50? If you're scrimping and saving on your bike equipment, then you are going to become an organ donor very quickly. That thing back there, that is the LS2, and that is a full. That is a carbon. That is a full carbon wrap one, not carbon wrap. Titanium wrap on that one.
Mm,
So I've actually had that titanium brushed. That was 360 quid from LS2, plus all the cameras and all the crap on it. So you're looking at 500 quid's worth of helmet. My last LS2 was the same price. Would I buy a 50 quid helmet? No, but I would use it as two pots, a piss pot and a plant pot.
yeah. Well, it's like I've got a Shoei Neotech,
Mm,
and they're not cheap. I think they're about 400, 450, something like that for a Shoei Neotech back
yeah,
then. It's like I've got decent, all my gear is decent. It's not all cheapo.
yeah,
Um, the only thing I would look at is Amazon on like the heated gloves.
yeah,
If it's looking down that line, because there is some decent heated gloves on Amazon. Yeah, but I wouldn't. No, I've even told Kira, don't scrimp on bike gear because that's
exactly.
what protects your life. Because she's been looking at the ladies stuff to do because they do like
Mm.
ladies leggings now with all the Kevlar
With
protection and everything
the
in it,
Kevy pads in, yeah, yeah.
pattern it and everything. And she's been looking at that stuff, and because I know she wants a summer jacket,
Mm,
so she's been looking at because the current jacket's a winter one, but she wants a summer one.
mm,
So she's looking at that, and I've told her, do not, you know, well, number one, I've told her if she goes out on that bike in shorts and a t-shirt, I'll kill
mm,
her, because she knows all the gear all the bloody time. Um, and number two, I've told her to get the best gear she can afford.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
do not scrimp and save on bike gear because at the end of the day, that's what saves your life.
Mm.
You know,
I've,
apart from the
I
sunspot.
always say to someone, at least spend, budget on at least 200 quid. You can pick up,
Yeah,
a decent crash helmet's going to cost you 90 quid.
yeah.
You can pick up a jacket, whether it's textile or you can buy these hoodies now. Oh,
Well, best thing to do
um,
is do what I did. I go when the
yeah,
sales are on.
mm,
Go when the sales are on because I've got
exactly.
a Frank Thomas. I got a Frank Thomas summer jacket,
Mm,
and what was it? It's about 100 and something quid
yeah,
because it was on sale.
mm,
And it was like, oh yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Huh?
I always say helmet,
Yeah,
jackets, a decent pair of jeans, boots, and gloves.
yeah,
Your gloves, and everyone said, gloves. Oh, well, you've seen my sports gloves; they're ripped to shreds up
yeah,
the inside. I go through 4 pairs of gloves a year,
mm,
just literally because I just pull them on and off all the time. They're on and off 4 or 5 times a day, so pulling at the back of
yeah.
them tends to rip the mesh on them. But for 35, 40 quid for a pair of gloves, felt fine. But what you need is double armor on, you want the double layer
Go
on the
on.
thing. First thing you're going to
Yeah.
do is put your hands down on the road.
Oh, I know
Um,
that.
yeah, you're going to put your hand out and dash your fingers
Yeah.
gone instantly. The other thing
Well,
is
there's
obviously
a
go on.
prime example. When I came off my Michigan, the first thing I did was put my left hand out, and luckily enough, I got my proper gloves on. So that
Mm,
saved the road rash on my hands.
mm,
I got all my bike gear on. I got my biker jeans on. I got my Alpine Star Adventure boots on. Yeah, and I got my textile jacket on with all the Kevlar in it.
mm,
And like I say, when I came off, all that gear, the only thing was is because I put my hand out. That's why I broke my radial joint. But I
yeah,
could do that falling over in the living room.
exactly.
And I walked
Um,
away. I just got up and rode the bike home.
Yeah,
You
see,
know.
the thing is, when if I'm out in the garage, I tend to wear. I've literally got. It looks like a pair of trainers, but they've got steel toe caps, but they've got a little bit
Oh,
of
I've got
ankle.
them.
Yeah, a little bit of
Yeah.
ankle protection on them. That's what I tend to ride if I'm out on the bike. If I'm out on the GTR, the best thing that I've got, and they're military issue army boots,
Yeah.
and
Because
because
Kira's got
they come up
she's got
literally about 4 inches up your shin. and you've got all the
Yeah.
multiple laces up the front, but no
Yeah.
steel toe caps. But that is going to protect your ankle if you go down. I
Yeah.
love
She's got a.
I love my
Uh,
Kevy jeans, but look, literally the amount of holes that I have in these Kevy jeans now,
yeah.
and these are 6 months old. But that is just the fact that I'm dripping battery acid or crap all down my jeans all day because I live in my Kevy jeans in the garage. You know, literally, someone can walk in. Oh, my bike's not running. Oh, do you want me to take it down the road and give it a ride test? If I'm, in and out of jeans all day, so I walk
Yeah.
around in my Kevy jeans. But my boots,
Um.
my jacket, my gloves, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything less than that. I tend to wear
Alfie.
summer hoodie top. I'll answer Alfie's question in a second. Here we
Yeah.
go. Buy reasonable gear and early go overboard. Make sure the bike's got decent rubber. You go big on the FC6. Get a bike with
Mm,
ABS and traction. As a new rider, you'll need it.
mm.
That's the one thing I haven't bought boots. None of them fit, and I want to zip up the
My,
side cover.
Kira's got Magnum boots,
Yeah. I've just
which are
come from
good
the
boots.
LXR 125 video. I've just bought one. I got my CBT book. Is this a good starter bike? Oh God, yes. Um, now, LXR is very similar to what Matt's daughter's got. He's got the LXS, which is the smaller baby version. So the LXR 820 seat height, the LXS 790, exactly the same engine in them. They are exactly the same engine. Water cooled, 6-speed box on those. The LXR, and I'm not going to go on saying Lex Moto, we're all singing, all dancing. Lex Moto LXRs do have two issues. Number one, the lock on it, if you put your ignition key in and it picks up some water, you will find that your dash flashes or your bike will cut out. It's a very, very simple fix because I picked up on it on the first test ride that we did on the Gen 1. You remember this, Matt, where the bike cut
Mm.
out on me halfway?
Yeah.
We got it back to the workshop, and I had the ignition barrel apart, and we found it had got water ingress, and the little brass contacts had got verdigris. Message to Lexmoto, your locks are shit. Well, not in so many words,
Yeah.
but you need to redesign this lock system because the water gets down the barrel, it gets into the lock, um, and in a heavy rainstorm, it's getting past the key down inside the barrel. They redesigned it with the Gen 2 lock. So, which means now you undo the two screws underneath your thing. You've got your little brass housing on there. You clean it up with a little bit of emery, two screws back in, the lock works good, little bit of silicone or electrical grease in there solves the problem. That's one of the issues. The other one is they stretch the chains like a bugger. Now, Chinese chains, basic Chinese bikes are built on a budget. Yes, they are. They're cheap for that reason, but
Mm.
they're reliable if you look after them, service them, and ride them correctly. If you're going to rag it around town like your Mark Marquez on the Formula One racetrack, your LXR is not going to last you 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
if you look after it, give a coat of ACF 50, and I keep bashing on about ACF 50. Matt will tell you. I'm going on about ACF 50 all the time. My GTR is smothered in the bloody stuff. But ACF 50 is a very good product. Ride it respectfully, treat it with love and care, and run the damn bike in. Most kids can't be asked at sitting at 40. We've all been there, 17 years old, and your mates are all hacking past you at 60 mile an hour, and you're sitting on your brand new LXR and you're doing 45 mile an hour for the first 500 miles, and you're like, oh, I don't need to do that. You open it up to 60, you're putting that engine under too much strain too quick. You have to run the bike in. Now, take for instance, Ali Redlocks. She had an Iska. She ran it
Mm.
incorrectly. She had a first service. She took it up to 55. She actually passed me on the GTR doing 72 mile an hour. I'm sitting going 65. The 125, and boom, she's passed me doing 72 mile an hour on an Iska. And everyone went,
Yeah.
the Iska doesn't do 72 mile an hour. It does if you run the bike in and if you look after it, you will get
Yeah.
70 mile an hour out of a 125. Um,
Well.
Oh, here we go. Howie, locks, ignition barrels. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
stuff I was
Graphite
thinking.
grease.
Graphite grease. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah, graphite grease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
Know
stuff
that
to
stuff well.
stick it inside your ignition barrel. Um, But that is the issues you get with the LXR. The chain stretch, get yourself a decent. If you tend to find it stretches too much, it's because you're ragging it too hard. But change it out and put a DID chain on it, and it's going to be a 428 1 2. Get that chain changed out. It probably cost you about 40 quid for a new chain. Bash it on the
Yeah,
LXR, but LXR chains last all right unless you rag the shit out of them. But
yeah,
it's a good bike for the money. It is a very very good bike. Oh,
yeah.
here we go. Mine goes 73 on
Yeah.
my.
I've had about 70 out of my Michigan.
Yeah,
It would do 70 with my flat body on it, So, but no, uh, uh, ACF 50, get a can.
get a
Honestly,
can.
I,
Definitely get a
I,
can.
I before I put mine away under its, bear in mind, mine sat outside. It's got two motorbike covers on it, and it's sort of strapped down. And oh, thank you. I've just been handed that. Wow,
Oh,
bottle of Spitfire. Um, yeah, I coated mine with ACF 50 before putting it under its covers. It's been sat in the front garden behind my car over winter, and I pulled it out the other day just to check it over and make sure it was still running and everything. Put the battery on it, and it's still running. And I could not believe it when I pulled the cover off of it because the only thing what was on it was a little bit of dust and a couple of snails which were sat on the inside of the bike cover. Um, but the actual bike, I did, that's why I did the video because
mm,
I was like, I can't believe this, because it weren't one speck of bloody rust on it. And they reckon
exactly.
Chinese bikes rust like that idiot the other day on commented on your video
Oh God, yeah.
with his little hairdryer Aprilia.
Uh,
Another prick rides an Italian bike. Yeah. Um, what was it? And it was like, mate, if you look after it, like you said,
mm,
service it, lube the chain up and clean the chain, coat it in ACF 50, it will run fine. And like
mm.
I say, my Michigan's never let me down. It's a lovely bike, and
What
I
you've got.
just fell in love with it. So,
Yeah, what you got to remember, Matt, most 17-year-olds, all they want to do is just rag the shit out of
right,
their
get
bike.
horse. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah, we all did
yeah,
that.
rag from A to B, put fuel in it.
Yeah,
The occasional, not even bother with a service normally, just want to rag the shit out of it all the time. Um, and just, obviously am around with their mates.
yeah,
Even I said to someone today, we had the guy out with the Suzuki, and I went, just check your tyre pressures. And he went, why is that? I said, I've checked them earlier, but I just want to check them again.
mm,
Well, if you've checked them, they should be good. The bike should, yeah, but I don't know how your tyres are. And I checked them again, 36 in the rear, 34 in the front. And I went, tyres are spot on. And he went, why is that? I said, the slightest change in PSI on that front tyre, and you'll notice it when you see like the guys hacking around doing like the MotoGP, they'll pop
yeah,
in the pits and the guy's out the front and he's like, and he'll do that on the valve, put the cap
yeah.
back on, and darn well he said like drop a bit of PSI out my front tire because
Oh, yeah,
if you soften the front tire up, the harder the tire, the harder it sticks to the road. If you soften the tire, you're going to get a better angle. So if you're chucking it in, say for instance, into a right hand bend and you're taking the apex of that corner, there is a difference between being 2 inches off that apex and if you change the tire pressure, being 3 foot off the apex. 2 psi will change your ride angle in a corner by about 3 foot, and that's what people don't realize. When you
mm,
start, you get Peaky in, and you start talking to Peaky about tire pressures and getting out on track days and just changing the psi by 1 or 2 psi in each tire. Um,
yeah,
you can alter the line going through corners, and if you happen to be a trail breaker, um, and we go on about trail braking all the time. So for all you newbies in the room, it's basically you're coming into a corner too hard. You've got a big handful of front brake. You're not locking the front wheel up, but you're braking and you're rolling the bike into the corner with the front brake on, throttle off. As you roll the throttle, you're doing that with your hand. So you're dropping the brake off, but rolling the throttle on. And that
on,
is trail
yeah,
braking. It means that you get a faster attack into the corner and a faster exit speed. So if you're in
Yeah.
a race with bikes, you'll be gaining 1 or 2 seconds out of every corner by using trail braking.
Yeah.
Peaky is a top rider and he knows how to trail bake very good. My only downside, obviously, riding, because I do a lot of ROSPA, IAM, biker down, bike safe courses during the year. And I go out with instructors, and the first thing they always say to me as soon as I hit a roundabout, get off your fucking front brake, your brake lights. It's like,
Yeah.
sorry, because it's a bad track habit, but I bring it out onto the road. But trail braking on the GTR, I can chuck that thing around corners.
Yeah.
But that's how it works.
But yeah.
Alfie just said, I'm 22. That's the thing. Never been interested until now. My dad drums. That's the thing. Might be collecting dust. I'll tell you what, Alfie. I've been doing
You'll
it
love it.
since. Yeah, I've been doing it since 5 years old. Um, my missus absolutely detests motorcycles, but she knows it's my passion. I didn't get
Yeah.
back into this until I met Phil. Oh God, and that's, I'd say it's 10 years ago now when I first met Phil at the garage when I went in to see him. But he obviously used to service my vans for me. Um, and the passion just grew all over again. It's something that's in your blood, and you can't explain it to anybody, which is the
No,
simple
you
reason.
can't. It's weird.
Mm,
It's like me. I did my CBT 2 years ago, you know, and I'm renewing it soon. But when I got on the bike for the CBT, yeah, I was nervous at first, got used to it, enjoyed that. But when I got my Michigan and started going out on that, the feeling is totally different to driving a car.
mm,
It's like you can smell everything, you can hear more, you can smell more. The views are fantastic, and it's just a lot more relaxing and fun than a car
mm,
being in the coffin box. And I used to drive for a living. I used to do like 120 odd thousand miles a year backwards and forwards up and down the country. And like Rev has just said, you can't explain it until you get on one and go out on one.
mm,
And I can see why people do it,
mm,
because it's just, and near enough every motorcyclist around my area you meet, no matter what bike they're on, it's head nodding or a wave or
yeah,
the hand out sort of thing.
yeah. There,
And the community is fantastic.
mm, um,
Well,
there is a if anybody happens to have TikTok, and I can't share TikTok on here,
mm,
simply because of monetization, but there is a very good quote, um, that it tends to go round TikTok every couple of weeks, and it's the same video, and it's a young lad leaning out of the window, the rear window of a car, looking at a
yeah,
biker, and he said, "Daddy, why do people ride motorcycles?" And the dad said to his son, he said, motorcyclists ride because they like freedom. They like the wind in their face and they like the sound of their bike. They
yeah,
turn up at bike meets and see someone they haven't seen for a couple of days, and they embrace like they haven't seen each other in years. They call each
yeah,
other brother. They call each other brother and sister. But when they meet, they're a family. And the kid
mm,
turns around to the dad and he goes, "Dad, can I have a motorcycle when I get older?" That is what biking is.
yeah.
It is just, you know, we
It's brilliant.
we do the
It's
super
hard to
sausage
describe.
every Sunday, and the amount of people that say to me, all you do is super sausage and back, yeah. But when you're there, it's all the same crew. And I went, yeah, we all go there, and people, we have our own section in the car park now, down the
Mm,
bottom by the garage. And we get people come over and it's like, oh, is Simon GTR here? Is Andy here? Or, is Rhythmic Biker here? Or
yeah,
Uncle Red, And we go, oh, yeah, they're over there. They're over there. We had a woman rock up with her kids a couple of weeks ago, and she was just looking around the bikes, and oh, she went, who's the guy with the BMW? I said, oh, that's Boo Ryder. And she went, oh, I like his bike. I said, well, all the motor vloggers are behind you. Take the kids and show them the bikes. And she went over, and I said to her, I said, oh, have you got any stickers? And she went, stickers? And I went, yeah, yeah, go on. And I gave a couple of Red Bomb stickers. Next thing you know,
mm.
everybody's got their stickers out. These kids went home with handfuls of stickers, but to see the smile on those kids' faces, and you
I'll
think,
tell you the other biggest difference as well.
yeah,
You break down in your car, nobody helps you. You break
Yeah,
down on a motorbike, and if another motorcyclist coming the other way, they'll turn around, come back, and go to you. You're right, mate.
yeah, exactly.
That's the other difference as well.
Mm,
It's like I say, it's more of a family thing, sort of thing. So,
yeah.
right, you've got
Um,
questions. What you need answering? Sorry.
Charles has just said it's definitely in my blood. I only have to hear a bike in the distance. I'm smiling. It is, isn't it? You hear a bike coming, you go, "That's a
Mm.
Suzuki." Oh no, it's a bloody Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Two questions to go. Looking to do ride outs with my friends. We're only 125 riders. Um, do we require intercoms or should we just use hand signals? Um, the one thing that I would say, if you are planning ride outs with your mates, make sure one, you know your route. Put someone in front that is going to stay in front that knows the route or is a more experienced rider. Don't put the novice at the front of the queue. Have an experienced rider at the front, and then ride what we do when we do the ride outs in a staggered formation. So you don't want to be one behind the other. If that front bike breaks, you're going to be straight behind him. So ride in what we call a diamond formation. So basically one there, one to the offside, and then the other one just down this side here. I'm trying to do it opposite sides in the camera. So
Yeah,
main,
basically,
yeah,
one in position two, one in position three on the road.
that's
So,
it.
like
Yeah,
you say, you're in the zipper formation. So if
that's it.
one of them ends up breaking hard, you're on the outside of them, so you just sort of
He's got
got time to
overrun.
react, and you got time to react and overrun, and you'll go by him. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, put the more experienced rider at the front, the novices at the back. When we tend to do ride outs, we normally have what we call a lead rider. So it's normally Simon GTR or Andy GSA Tractor up the front. I always tend to be tail gun position. I like being tail end Charlie because obviously being the bigger bike with the luminous green on it, it keeps the cars away from us. But you know, one thing you need to do, work your route out. If you have got headsets, Cardo, Senna, link yourself up. But the easiest way to do it is put an earpiece in and put a WhatsApp group. Put your phone on WhatsApp, do a WhatsApp group, put the phone in your pocket and chat to your friends using an earpiece in your ear because you've got your phone in your earpiece. That's a cheap way of doing it. But
Mm.
leave yourself at least a 1 to 2 second gap between each rider. Because if you're all bunched up like a load of idiots, you're all going to be bashing into each other and ride in a staggered formation. Ah,
Or
my
as the
friend is
saying,
here. There we are.
or as
Zed.
yeah,
Evening, Zed. He's just said
yeah,
everything before I've even.
I like what Howard said as well. Driving the car is like watching a movie. Riding the bike is like starring in the
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. So
But
love riding because
as the
freedom of
saying
smell.
goes,
Yeah.
only a fool breaks the 2 second rule.
Exactly. Doing second rider
Mm.
drop with row two and you in a group. Oh, he is here, beer in hand. Are you ready, boys? Peaky is in the room. How you doing, Mucker?
How you doing,
Okay.
mate?
Hello,
You're
mate.
right.
Yeah. Cheers,
I had,
buddy.
I had to go down and get a beer, man, after today.
Don't blame me, mate.
Where are you?
uh, a place called Cleverton, which is about 3 miles from Western-super-Mare.
Ah,
Hmm.
So
Because you were near Ilfracombe earlier,
I'm
weren't
kind
you?
I'm kind of north of Western-super-Mare now.
you're
I
Yeah.
put
going to hook up with what was his name? Western Supermoto. Because Phil's down
yeah
there, isn't he?
yeah. I mean, like I say, I was up at 4 this morning. I set off about 5:20 to get down to Land's End. But I only found out afterwards you're supposed to pay now to have your photo taken at the sign.
Hmm.
What?
So I never knew that. So I got there at like 6:30. So I was like, moved all the barriers out the way. Fucking, you know what I mean? Got my photos, you know what I mean? So I fucking drove off, and this I spoke to this lad when I had breakfast, and he was like, "Yeah, mate, you know." You have to pay now, don't you? I went, I don't pay, mate. I just fucking moved the barriers and fucking put my bike there. Do you know what I mean? Took some
Oh,
photos and that was it. But yeah, man, mate, today's been a good day. I
Peaky,
had.
Gus has just said he's Peaky on tonight. He's fucking down there.
I'm here, mate. I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Yesterday, I put my glasses on. I can't see fuck all because the writing's that small. I can't see anything, so I'm gonna take them off. If anybody comments, let me know, Rev. I can't see anything.
Gus has just said he's Peaky on tonight. IB Charles, the Peaky biker. Evening, buddy. Good to see you. Zed's about somewhere, so we've got Zed in the room.
Zed's
here.
Yeah, but after yesterday's fucking fiasco, and like the kind of really, that was probably the lowest point.
Yeah, you did sound down yesterday.
I've been to on the trip. Say that again, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, I said you did sound down yesterday.
Yeah,
you could
mate.
Tell you were down a bit,
mate. It was just one of them. It was just a combination of a lot of things. That it was too hot. It was too hot. I had an engine management light come on.
Oh God!
There was I don't want to sound disrespectful, but the more different old bastards down south. Do you know what I mean? Them driving round the fucking mate. There's like fucking queues of like fucking 8 miles, and them parked in the middle of the fucking road. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like I'm literally weaving in and out the fucking traffic. I'm going down the hard shoulder into the middle, and you can see them moving. You can see them moving, trying to cut me off.
That's the problem. You're down there where all the holiday makers are and that lot, and a lot of people are like, I'm on holiday and to get out of and or you get the the hat brigade on the party stuff,
I just really struggled yesterday because for me, Rev will know, but if you've been in the army, you're used to hitting targets.
What
am I always on about in the bloody garage? Oh, I'm 2 hours over. I'm I'm flapping like a fucker. Yeah.
Mate,
you aim for the target, and anything short of it is not good enough. You've got to go past that target.
Mate, in 11 hours, I did 250 mile in 11 hours. 11 hours. That ain't 11 hours in total. That's 11 hours riding. So that was like a 14-hour day, and I did 250 miles. I was fuming, mate, and I just it was just one of them points where I just got to, and I was just like, I got to Lizard Point because I wanted to do the Lizard Point first, and then go to Land's End. So I got to Lizard Point, and I was just like, I've had a fucking enough. I ain't gonna manage to get to Land's End because
Gus has just said, "How's Peaky doing?" He is in Ilfracombe. Oh, Western Supermare. Sorry, Western Supermare.
I'm above it, Ilfracombe.
I was going to say,
I pulled over. I pulled over for about an hour and a half just to let the traffic go. I don't know.
I was watching you this morning. I was like, I got my phone on silent, just watching the video because Phil gets a bit uppity about people having their phones on in the. And I'm sitting with my hands under this bike servicing. I'm like, fucking hell, Peaky's on.
yeah. So
question from Zed. Zed's just said, how did you like Scotland? I so wished to caught up with you, but my bike is worse than I thought.
Oh man, mate, the roads are amazing. The only thing I'd say is I'd never go touring in Scotland I'd say the riding season, because genuinely I must have seen at least 50 coppers a day with speed guns. And that is no joke. That's no joke at all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fair enough. I'm doing the NC500, but mate, it just wasn't good, mate. It was just fucking. It was a piss take, if I'm being honest. There was a point where this road was about. I can't remember it now. It was about 16 mile long. This road was, and there was 3 coppers sat with speed guns on this fucking road at different fucking points. You just think to yourself, I'll have a day off.
Quick one, Peaky. Howie's just said he's been out all day today, Peaky. Family day tomorrow. Unable to get over to meet up. He's going to catch up with you at the ABR. Pass it on, Rev.
Sound. Yeah, like I say, you know, I text. I was talking to Exeter earlier. He rang me, and I just, you know, the thing is, I appreciate that people have got, you know, their own lives and the family and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate that. So you know, if you can meet me, then sound. If you can't, then you can't. At the end of the day, it's, you know, I ain't gonna hold it against you. But you know, I've been on my own now since Bob Taylor.
Yeah.
So
Exeter's in for a shock because they've just brought in something new with the Lex Motos now. To be a service agent, you have to go down to Lex Moto, which is in Exeter, and do their training course at their headquarters. And I'm level 3 mechanic, mate. I don't need any. No, you've got to come down and do the official Lex Moto training. And I'm like, fucking hell. Right. So I thought, right, while I'm down there for 2 nights, I'm gonna go and harass Exeter.
Did you tell him?
Well,
Did you tell him?
we
Rev?
had that same thing.
Did you tell him, Rev? Did you say, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm Rev.
Yeah.
Do you know who the fuck I am?
I don't cut the mustard with them. Oh, quick one. Graham's just said it's the East Coast that gets the cops, Peaky.
Mate, it was literally as soon as I left John O'Groats. I left John O'Groats, mate, and there was, to be fair, mate, if I'm going to put it out there now, I left Graham to do that west side, and to be brutally honest, I rode like a dickhead for like 9 hours. I was just fucking on it like a car bonnet, you know what I mean? I was flying.
Howie's just said, Rev, you can say at Exeter's drum. That's all right, Howie. I'll come down and strum your guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me to get up to John O'Groats, I kind of had to do that. Do you know what I mean? But I'm well expecting a speeding ticket at some point. Yeah. Especially in Scotland, because you just don't realise what you're fucking doing on some of them roads. Make them like this and fucking beautiful.
What you want to do is do that thing they do in London. You can't affect me because I am a common traveller, and the laws of the road don't apply to a common traveller.
Yeah, I'm a freeman of the land. Yeah.
That's it, a freeman of the land. Yeah.
A what? A freeman of the land? What's that?
Oh, you don't want to know, Peaky. You don't want to know. They think basically that any laws don't apply to them, and they've got a right. Well, they're not. Was it? They're not driving a vehicle. They are travelling.
Yeah.
The other thing. Yeah. They're right. It's the Tin Hat Brigade.
I might have to
Tin Hat
use
Brigade.
that.
Yeah. Bruce is here. Moray Loon's in the room. Evening, Bruce. Good to see you, buddy.
How you doing, Bruce? Hey.
Let's post up a StreamYard link. Anyone who comes to come and join old Peaky on the StreamYard link tonight. He's having a blast. He's free. I would say you're almost 3/4 of the way around, aren't you?
Well, this is one of the reasons why I was going to jump on, because I reckon you need to cancel your Super Sausage run on Sunday.
Why is that?
Because I reckon the way it's going at the moment, I reckon I'll be in Borth Sunday night.
Where's that?
Where's Borth? It's fucking Wales. It's like 2.5 hours from you.
Oh, it's not that far, right?
I reckon I'll be in Borth by tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow night, I reckon I'll be in Borth.
Hey.
Your sat nav's not going to know where that is, Red Bomb.
No, it's good.
Well, he needs to make sure it fucking works. That's what he needs to make sure it fucking does.
If I can get out, I'll get
going to go, where are we going? Where are we going? I know you got to
go. Yeah. So what I'll do is I've not booked anywhere yet. I've just sent the text to the missus just to say you need to book me somewhere in Borth. I'm about 400 miles from Borth, so I reckon I'll get to Borth tomorrow. So Sunday, all I'll be doing is riding home. So if anybody wants to meet me in Borth Sunday,
how do you spell it? Is it BORF or BORPH?
It's BORTH.
Oh, B-O-R-T-H.
If you want to be fucking posh, it's both, not both. Both.
Yeah. How did you
So,
find the East Coast then, Peaky? Down by
mate,
sort of Cleethorpes and that area.
mate, what I'll say is when you get down from like when you come down that west coast from like Norwich around to
is
like
it
Ipswich,
Yeah.
more for Borth?
both.
The only Borth I've got in Wales is more for Borth, just north of Aberystwyth.
Nah, it's about Aberystwyth way. So what you'll get is you'll get the peak where the estuary comes in and comes back out. So you'll have Aberystwyth one side and Borth just underneath it.
Let me have a look on Google Maps. Search for Borth.
Borth, B-O-R-T-H.
Yeah, I've got it. Fucking hell, 3 hours 40 minutes.
You need to do a fucking walk run.
see how many bloody speeding tickets I can pick up and how many top box covers I'll lose.
Yeah. Join the club.
Howie's just said it's out towards Super Sausage, but you got to keep going.
Yeah.
And a bit more.
Scottish police view drivers, riders from south of the border as foreigners. They're ever involved yet? Oh, they're from south of the border. Charles, yeah, that's it. More for Borth, yeah. 3 hours and 40 minutes. Is Borth like Oban?
Mate, you're fucking... Mate, you're more over that. 3 hours is nothing. No, not now. 3 hours is nothing. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at stuff now, like for like tomorrow, 400 miles. I'm like, fucking, that's an easy day, that is. That's
an easy day, yeah.
That's an easy day, 400 miles. I'm looking at now. 9 hours. That's a piece of piss, that is. Put my brakes in. That's like an 11-hour day. That's all right, that is. I'm happy with that. Well, yeah, man. Sorry, I can't get no dinner. I went down to the restaurant and well served me. They said they finished dinner at fucking 8 o'clock, so I got some Nobby's nuts.
Nobby's nuts, packet of crisps, popcorn from behind the bar.
And a fucking beer.
And a pint of beer.
Liquid lunch, yeah.
It's when you put the telly on and you got BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 4 or bloody Naked Attraction.
I've put the telly on and we've got Men in Black on.
So, excellent.
No.
The only thing I'll say is I can't turn the shower down because the shower's like a fucking million degrees. So like it takes your fucking skin off.
No, that's the sort of shower you want. Howie's just said, are you in Clevedon?
Clevedon, that's the one. Clevedon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice place, man. It's proper little like picturesque place. It's how like busy.
Grey Wolf just said 3 hours. He said that's only half a tube of anusol. Love it. Right, I'm going to be on for a few minutes more anyway, because I've got a bloody early start tomorrow. I've got to be up at 5 o'clock, so I've got to be in the garage for 6.
Yeah.
Rev.
Go on.
You ain't going fucking nowhere to go to bed now. You monster of fucking I say so.
After last night, mate, watching you have a piss, that was enough for me.
Mate, I was knackered. I was absolutely fucking knackered. I don't remember doing that. I watched it back today. Well, I listened to it back whilst I was riding. I was like, I can't believe I had a fucking piss. Like. That's how knackered I was.
They were all like, Peaky's not flushed, Peaky's not washed his hands.
Did they not know I was in the fucking army?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's normally that'll do. Wash your hands.
What kills bacteria? Urine.
Urine kills
bacteria. There you go.
It's the first time I've seen Peaky with a mouthful of nuts.
At least he's not playing with balls.
I am.
Great fun. Great
good
fun.
Good job to say smell-o-vision.
Slightly
Well,
salted,
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
Slightly
man.
salted.
Well,
Honestly, Peaky, you're doing fantastic, mate. You really are.
thanks, mate. I mean, to be fair, every day all I've done is kind of ride to it objectives and points.
Yeah,
That's all I've done. You know,
yeah.
I ain't done anything. It's like I said to a woman today, a young girl bought me breakfast. I went to this little farm and she bought me breakfast. And she was like, "Oh, it's amazing what you're doing, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Oh, love, I'm riding my bike."
Mm.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all
you're
I'm
doing
doing.
something.
I'm riding my bike. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
I know it's something you love to
It's
do, but it's what you're doing it for.
Mm.
it's two extremes, but
Yeah,
all I'm doing is riding my bike. That's all I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've done my time. I've been to war. I've done all that shit. But all I'm
yeah,
doing now is just a bit of sleep deprivation exercise, really, for me.
yeah.
So, so you know, and I'm, you know, she thought I was doing something fucking fantastic, and I was like, well, aye. It's the people who in the charity are doing something fantastic.
Oh
They're the
yeah.
people who they're the people who need to be bigged up, not me.
Mm.
No,
You know what I mean?
what you're
You know,
doing for them is absolutely bloody brilliant. You know, it's what
no,
you're doing for them. You know, you could quite easily just sat there for 24 hours in a bathtub of baked beans. You know what I mean? But you're
Mm.
not. Yeah,
no. For me, I just wanted to look. I texted this earlier on to a couple of people. I just wanted to show you guys and
mm,
everybody there, me as an individual when I'm riding, when I'm sat there, when I'm relaxed, the good times, the bad times, the down
yeah,
times, all that. Do you know what I mean? And that's just me. That's who I am on a day to day basis. Yeah,
yeah.
I have my good days. Yeah, I have my bad days. But
Oh, I know that myself. I know that with my mental health, you get the up days and you get the down days.
Oh god,
You
yeah,
yeah.
know,
but you've got to you know, unless you publicise it kind of thing, them
Mm.
down
yeah,
days, people don't
yeah,
realise that them down days. You know what I mean? They just think, oh right, you're just you're having a fucking moment or
Mm.
whatever. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So, so
I tend to find, and the last down day I had, I actually called him down below. I actually called Peaky and went, "I'm having a real shit day, mate." And he went, "Why is that?" I went, "Flashbacks back to the Falklands," and he went, "Blah blah blah." And we tend to share shit, but you tend to
yeah,
find that the army boys keep it to their own little clan. You know, you explain
yeah.
it to a you. I'm not going to say a normal human being. You explain it to somebody else, and they just don't get it. They go, "Yeah, but don't you just push it to the back of your mind and move on?" No, you
Rev,
don't.
Rev,
Mm,
Rev, I'm going to stop you there. They're called civvies.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
They're called civvies. So you've got veterans and then you've got civvies.
yeah. You
Yeah,
try
well,
And
explaining it.
that ain't no disrespect. That ain't no disrespect to anybody.
no,
But
Yeah,
you know,
being
but
as a civvy myself, being as a
if you
civvy myself, I tend to go quiet. If I
yeah,
go quiet, then you know I'm having a shit, couple of days,
yeah.
and then I'll suddenly reappear again.
yeah,
You know,
you
and
see,
my missus knows that.
for me, it's I start getting more angry, more aggressive, more
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
pissed off
yeah,
with things quicker.
yeah, yeah,
I start losing my temper a lot easier. Like literally that morning, my missus must have rang me about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then
mm,
she rang me back about 10:30, and she was like, "Are you all right?" And I was
mm,
like, "Fucking get the fucking way!" You know what I mean? I end up having a row
Yeah.
with some old biddy. And she was
yeah,
on a scooter, mate. She was on this scooter in the middle of the fucking road. I was like, "Fucking get on the footpath! What are you doing?" And she's going,
yeah.
"I've got every right to be." I went, "No, you ain't. You want a fucking scooter? You want a mobility scooter? Get the fuck off the road and get on the
I hate
footpath."
them muppets.
Do you know
Uh,
what I
The
mean?
thing
Get on
because
the
it's got
fucking
lots of
footpath.
the thing
And she
because it's
went,
got
"Do
lots of indicators on. You can use it on the road.
you know?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking answer to me. I've got indicators.
mm,
Well,
I
where's your
was
reg
just like,
plate?
I was
Yeah.
just like, no, it don't have a reg plate, nothing. It had indicators and all this like And I went past her, and I went, get on the fucking footpath. And she went,
Yeah, well,
there's about a 9 mile fucking tail back because of you. Because of
Yeah.
fucking you. I went, get the fuck on
but
the...
and it, this is the thing with scooters. Yeah, if you want to use it on the road, you need insurance, and you still need a number plate on it. And that's the same with mobility scooters. If you're going to use one of these mobility things on the road, you need to insure it, and you need a number plate on it, and you need an MOT.
Hmm.
Just because you got one with lots of indicators on does not mean you can use it on the road.
Or
Yeah.
you need them fuckers like you got in Benidorm, what we pinched when you could wheelie them, and they do like fucking 30.
Yeah.
I remember them things. Oh, fuck, they were fun,
But
weren't they?
it's still classified as an electric vehicle, so it falls under
Yeah.
the same rules as a car.
But
Exactly.
honestly, I swear to God, there was about a 9 mile tailback, mate. That ain't no joke. A 9 mile
I hate it.
tailback because of her.
Yeah, because
What
when my
you
mum,
need is a big hammer and a nail, and as you go past, smack a nail into a lithium battery pack and watch it go up.
Mate, I was genuinely, and this is no word of a lie, I was like this close to pulling over and just fucking taking her off it and just fucking just like fucking lying her down on the fucking footpath and fucking putting it on the footpath and letting the fucking everybody else fucking crack on. Mate, I was fuming. But that's the mental side of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
all day then, that pissed me off all day. And
yeah,
then all
because
the
you're
traffic,
thinking about it.
yeah, all day then, that pissed me off. But
Yeah,
all day, the traffic was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I was just like, fuck this, man. I've had a fucking enough. And then when I got to like Lizard's Point, and I'd already done like fucking 200 mile out the 450 I should have done. And I was absolutely knackered, mate, yesterday. I was absolutely fucked. I must have had.
yeah,
I went down, mate, and I had two rums, 2 beers, and then I did my life with them 2 beers, and I was
yeah.
knackered. I couldn't keep me out. At the end, literally, I come off the live, mate, and literally 10 minutes, I was fast asleep. 10 minutes.
Well, you sounded a lot better today when you were at the garage.
Yeah.
When you went live earlier on today.
Mate, I was, because it might seem daft, but I'd had that time off the bike.
Yeah.
Completely. You know what I mean? I'd had a good like, 13, 14, 15 hours off the bike.
The bike, yeah.
And it might not sound a lot of time, but when you're on the bike, 15, 16, 17, 18 hours a fucking day, it's fucking hard work.
Yeah. Yeah. But you did, like I say, I did donate earlier on today for you, mate. So
Yeah.
Howie's just said the southwest will be rammed this weekend. Guarantee stationary traffic on the M5 southbound. Yeah, because everyone's heading south for the bank holiday.
Yeah, because everyone's going safe.
Well,
that's one of the reasons why I planned it like I planned it. So that
so you're going north.
Coming down the bank holiday, I'm doing up.
Yeah, and also don't forget a lot of the schools. Don't forget a lot of the schools are off this week as well, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
My lads broke up today for the week, so you're going to get all the holiday traffic this weekend.
Yeah, but they're all coming safe.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all coming safe.
Yeah.
I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Same here.
That's the time I wake up.
I'll text you when I'm up and at the garage. Get on your bike.
Fucking sweet, man. Mate, I better text you before you text me. but I can sit there and I know that I can get a good 2 hours in tomorrow, probably 3 hours in tomorrow before I start eating traffic.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I did do it last Saturday when I went up to from Blackpool to Glasgow. Literally, I eat nothing for about 3 hours. I eat a bit, but nothing major for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
But...
Right, boys, I am going to sign off in a second. Anyway, fucking hell, it's 9:45. Jesus H. Christ, I've got to be up in 6 hours.
Do you know what tiredness is?
Yeah, I know what tiredness is in, mate. I am. Let me just work it out.
it's fucking weakness leaving the body. That's what tiredness is.
Is that what they call it? I tell you what, I'm knackered this week, mate. Absolutely fucking knackered this week.
Mate,
It's my fault.
Mate, you talk
It's
to the
my
fucking
daughter's fault.
you talk to the wrong bloke here.
Yeah. To say, Peaky, it's my daughter's fault. She bought a motorbike off of me. So
Oh fucking hell.
she's getting the first motorbike. So Red's been sorting that out for
Has it- did-
up to today, I am 77 hours in.
her. Bloody hell.
Yeah, and I've still got tomorrow to go, which is another 13-hour shift. And I'm grabbing 3 to 4 hours a night. It's fucking mad at the garage at the moment.
Mate, you must be fucking loaded.
I wish, mate, but
You fucking
yeah.
mate, if you're doing 77 hours a week, mate.
Yeah.
If you want £10 an hour, if you want minimum wage, which is £10 an hour.
I'm not, mate. I'm self-employed.
So you want more with your tax. You
Yeah.
can claim your tax back. You can claim.
Oh, I can claim my tax, mate.
You can claim your boot polish. You can claim cleaning your clothes.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
claim laces. You can claim.
Yeah.
You can claim a paper every morning.
Yeah. Haircut.
Haircut, razors.
Yeah.
Bog roll. Yeah.
Bog
Bog
roll,
roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
Coffees.
Yeah.
The only thing you can't claim for is your bloody smokes. They don't pay you for your smokes.
Oh, fucking hell. Some fucking usual, eh? That is. Fucking hell. That's all right. Kicking the
Well,
dick, that is. They don't pay me to get cancer. Fuck's sake. Fucking hell.
To say, is your bike classified as a company vehicle, Rob?
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So make sure you got that down as a company vehicle. And you got sign writing on it as well.
Yeah,
So, you know.
Yeah. Got to have the sign writing on it.
Here's one. Here's one for you then. Here's one to put the fucking cat amongst fishes for you, Gabe. So if anybody out there is using their bike for YouTube and making videos, then that is a company vehicle. So it needs to be insured.
Business use.
Business insurance.
As a company vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
tell me
nothing else.
about it. When I did Bike Shore this year, because I was paying 330 quid fully loaded. And she said, "Oh, you still doing your YouTube videos?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "Do you moto vlog?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "You do realise that's business use?" And I went, "Is it?" I said, "I thought it was social." No, if you are putting videos on YouTube for monetary gain, it's classed as business use. And I went, "Ah, you've been doing it naughtily for 2 years." And I went, "All right, how much is business insurance?" And she worked it all out. I've got it fully loaded. I've got $2,500 of gear covered on the bike.
Cheaper.
Yeah. It's not actually. It's 770. It doubled.
See, mine was cheaper. Mine was about 51 quid cheaper.
Yeah, mine's 770 quid a year. But that is the fact because of my job and what I do, and I work in a garage.
Yeah.
And I'm riding other, and I'm also
I was
insured.
say you want a lot of bikes, so are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm insured to ride everybody else's bike. Because she said, "Do you ride a lot of other people's bikes?" And I went, "Yeah." I said, "But it's normally covered under the business insurance for the garage. But I do take a lot of friends' bikes out and have a quick flip round the block on them." She went, "Oh, well, you're covered third party only on that." And I went, "No, make it fully comprehensive. If I drop a friend's bike, I want fully comp." So that's what bumped my insurance to 770 quid. But for the money, it's worth it for the money. That's the amount that comes in.
Mate, how much is peace of mind?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I did my CBT. The actual CBT were 140 quid, but for 10 quid extra, they'd insure you on the bike, so you were covered fully comp on the bike. So if you came off the bike, you were covered. Whereas if you did paid the 140, you dropped the bike, you ended up paying for the bloody repairs on it.
Exactly.
You know, so it's worth just paying that extra tenner just to cover your own arse.
Realise. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, Peaky, catch up with me in the morning, mate. Text me at the garage when you're up.
Mate, I'll text you. But I'll guarantee you now. I'll text you before you text me.
Probably.
100%.
Probably. I'll be like, what the
100%.
fuck's that texting me at this time of the morning?
Look,
Right,
you
Matt.
did
Mate, at 10 to 4 when I'm like,
Yeah. Matt, thanks for coming in. Peaky, look
No
after
problem.
yourself, mate. Stay safe out there. Crack
Yeah,
on.
man.
Don't. Every mile is a mile home now. That's what you got to think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll
So,
catch you on
As-
the live, Peaky.
thank you,
I'm
mate.
jumping in
Thank
say
you.
hello to you.
But
Keep an eye on you.
as my missus said to me today, because I said to her, I goes, I'm heading home. She went, you got to stop thinking about that, because that's when an accident will happen. She went,
Yeah.
so you've got to ride like you've just
Yeah.
started.
Yeah,
And I was like,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
That is a fair point.
Yeah,
She's
they
very
actually
on the
do
ball.
say most accidents happen near your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I'm coming back from Kent in my car, I'll still drive like I'm still on the M20. Well, not like I'm an idiot on the M25, but I'll still be cautious because I reckon
Yeah, but the thing
in
is,
half an hour, that's when you relax
yeah.
and you
Yeah,
think,
but the
I'm
thing is,
nearly home.
when I set off, I was just wheeling everywhere. When I set off.
Yeah. But he's brilliant, mate.
I'll let you go because fucking Rev's tired. Fucking
Yeah.
Rev's getting
he's
fucking tired now. Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ. He's been tightening nuts and bolts all day. He's tired.
I've been tightening my nuts. I'll tell you what, the missus tightens my nuts, but I'm.
Does she fuck? Anything she does is fucking squeeze them when someone needs to be paid.
Exactly. But thanks to everyone in the side chat down here for coming in. Thank you very much, Howie, Lee, Charles, Blakes, Grey Wolf, Bruce, Maury Biking, Loon, Haggis, Graham, Zed, Gus. Who else have we had in? Matt. Let me just roll the list a bit. Alfie came in and asked us about his new bike, but yeah, thanks to everybody. If I didn't forget to mention you, obviously go and check yourself out on the side chat. Quick one, Rhythmic Biker done his 1,000 subscribers draw. I've won a t-shirt. Oh, I've got a Rhythmic Biker t-shirt. The winner of the hoodie, John Dyard McLean.
That's a fucking fiddle. That's a fiddle. I fucking donated 15 quid to him. That's a fucking fiddle. Rev, can I, before you jump on, can I just jump in and just say thank you to everybody who's messaged me, text me, come on the lives and supported me of the last 10 days. It's been brilliant. From the bottom of my heart, it's made a massive difference. It's helped me massively when I've had my down points during the fucking day. And, as a person, I really appreciate you guys taking the time, the effort, and kind of believing that I can do this. I had points where I don't think I was going to make it, but I have. And that's down to you lot giving me the love, support, and the text messages and coming on lives. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome, mate.
That's
Yeah.
genuine from the bottom of my heart.
Everybody's behind your peaks. You're doing
that.
something that no one, not even me. Fucking hell, I have trouble getting a super sausage on a Sunday, yet alone travelling around the UK. But you're smashing it out the gate, mate, and it just proves if you set yourself a challenge, you can achieve it with that positive mental attitude. Everyone has down days, but you are smashing it out the crate, mate. So good luck on the last part of it. I will catch up with you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Peaky Biker, go and jump on his Facebook channel. Link there for Scotty's Little Soldiers. It is an amazing, amazing charity. He's disappeared. Amazing charity. So check out Scotty's Little Soldiers. Go and give Peaky some more support. Chuck some money his way. Thanks to Matt over here coming in.
No problem.
I will probably catch up with you before Thursday, Matt, when you come to get the
Yeah,
bike.
no
But
problem. Just let us
thanks for
know.
popping in, mate. But I am off
Uh,
to, I'm going to have a quick cigarette in the garden with a neighbour and my missus and head off to bed because I've got a 6 a.m. start. Another 13 and a half hour day tomorrow. If you happen to be local to Milton Keynes, it's the ride out this weekend. So the Sunday ride out to Super Sausage, meet at Eclipse Motorcycles. This week, we're doing it 8:45. We're going to upset the neighbours this week. So 8:45, and we're departing at 9 o'clock. So you've got a 15-minute window to rock up at Eclipse. We're riding out to Super Sausage. And if you happen to ride with us, coffees are on RV as always. So whatever you're doing, thanks again to Matt. We shall see you.
no
Enjoy the
problem.
bank holiday. If you're out riding, ride safe, keep it shiny side up, rubber side down. But from myself, RB, as always, be well, ride safe, and it's a big goodbye from me.